Good morning, friends. Welcome to Activist Collective. This is episode 37. And in the recap of the week's news, where to start, right? Where to start. It's December 4th, Thursday. Let's get into it. So the first thing that I would like to talk about, friends, is this lawsuit, the $310 million lawsuit. If you haven't heard, they claim that it's kind of part of the Jeffrey Epstein files, right? I did read through a good portion of those court documents and the claims that are being made. And I'll be honest with you, I can tell you exactly right now what MAG is going to say if they read them. They're going to say, this sounds like conspiracy. This woman or women are messed up. They're crazy liberals, because it reads like an espionage movie. I mean, that's what these documents read like. One of the claims, and again, this is all alleged, okay? I don't know what's true or not. I know what's in the court documents. What is alleged is that this woman is a cybersecurity tech genius, and she created some cybersecurity stuff that is supposed to stop war. That's a quote from there. That's supposed to stop war before it happens. She claims that this technology was stolen from her, that in the melee of trying to cover it all up, they used the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to do so. And then in the coup de grace, wrapped up in all of it, is a paternity situation where they stole her child from her. Now, in these court documents, I will say this. They should have redacted more, because there are some things in there that lead to identifiable things. And I'm sure any smart person who reads those documents will figure it out. I don't know what's true. I don't know what's fake, because all of this is alleged. But what I do know is that the President of the United States has a long and sordid history with hurting women. He was found guilty of raping E. Jean Carroll in a civil court of law. The accusations of sexual misconduct and abuse date back decades and decades and decades. From women that he's worked with, to models, just to people who worked for him. This man is a pervert. Women are nothing but scum to him and used for only one thing. I will tell you what, though. I saw a picture of one Miss Marla Maples, and that woman is looking good. She is looking damn good. A lot better than Melania Trump, who looks rode hard and put away wet at this moment in time. Anyway, so this lawsuit names Musk, Trump, and Bill Gates and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which is a nonprofit, obviously. I beg of you to read through the documents. You can find them at the Boca News online, BOCA News online. I believe it's like Boca Raton, Florida, their news, whatever. And the court documents are there, downloadable, easy to read, and you can read for yourself what these women are claiming. They're claiming that she was trafficked since 1998. One of the women, or both of the women, hard to tell. But they want $310 million for pain and suffering. They claim that they tried to kill her in 2023 and in 2024. There are a lot of claims in there that, like I said, MAGA is going to eat this court case up. They're going to attack it on all fronts. And if you read it, you'll understand what I mean. So where is ICE? Where are DHS in these recent days? One thing that I have heard a lot coming from is the New Orleans area. I heard that ICE rolled into New Orleans and that they were expecting them. New Orleans is pissed. They hate the government for leaving them high and dry during Katrina, for letting the black people in that community suffer and die. And the fact that the government is now rolling in to steal their neighbors but couldn't be bothered to roll in to help them is playing out in real time in New Orleans. They are prepared. They have film crews made up of local residents ready to film at any given point. They're out there doing interviews. These people are ready. They're ready for ICE. So I'm waiting to see all of the videos that come out of New Orleans very soon. Now, I live near Detroit, and we have been hearing pockets of activity, but there's not been any major shift from like a big city into Detroit. And, you know, they called the Midway Blitz in Chicago because they were hitting the Midwest. Michigan's in the Midwest. I don't know why they're skipping over Detroit. I have an idea. But things may not go well for them here. Things may not go well for them here. We are a lot smaller than Chicago, but we are a very densely packed city, and they look out for each other. If ICE rolls into the east side of Detroit and starts picking up people, I'm just saying, you wanted the money, ICE. You wanted to work for DHS and ICE. You wanted the money. I hope it was worth it. That's all I can say. Real quick, there's a new boycott going on against Univision and Telemundo. Telemundo and Univision are two of the largest Spanish-speaking broadcasters, and apparently they are airing ICE ads with Kristi Noem, dubbing it over in Spanish and shit. Like, what are you thinking? Why would you do that? Unreal. So if you didn't know, if you do watch Telemundo or Univision in any capacity, there is a mass boycott against them for their, I guess, partnering with DHS, ICE, and the Puppy Killer to run their ads on their TVs. That's crazy to me. Absolutely insanity. Sane. Look, I'm trying to do this on my lunch hour. Bear with me. So I don't mean to beat a dead horse here over these boat strikes, but we really need to keep this in the forefront of the news. And I mean that because what they did would have had any Secretary of War, whatever the fuck that means, completely and utterly stripped of every title and fired under any other administration. This shouldn't even be a conversation of whether or not to do that. But we are living in a fascist dictatorship where evil reigns supreme, and we are doing very little to stop it as a people. The world is watching us going, America, we thought you were stronger than this. And we're sitting here going, we're trying. We are trying. Please trust and believe we are trying. Now, the Washington Post broke this story. And what they claim is that on September 2nd in 2025, Hegseth ordered a boat strike on a boat, a vessel that they claimed was carrying drugs and drug traffickers. Okay, the strike hit the boat, and there were 2 survivors clinging to wreckage. It was at that time they noticed the 2 survivors when Pete Hegseth himself, according to the Washington Post, gave the order to, quote, leave no survivors. Now, the second strike allegedly killed the survivors who had been clinging to the wreckage, and the Post links this pattern of repeated strikes to more than 20 boat strikes since early September. To a broader campaign in the U.S. military against suspected drug smuggling vessels. Now, Donald Trump was asked, and I'm going to try to link the video. Let me get that video going for you.
On September. You released video of that first boat strike on September 2nd, but not the second video. Will you release video of that strike so that the American people can see for themselves what happened?
I don't know what they have, but whatever they have, we'd certainly release. No problem. You know, we stopped every boat we knock out. We save 25,000 American lives.
That's right.
And if you look at our numbers, the drugs coming in through sea are down 91%. I'm surprised there's 9%. I don't know who's doing the 9%, but it's down 91, and we're going to start very soon on land, and I'm sure you're thrilled to hear that.
Boat strikes, if it is found that survivors were actually killed while clinging onto that boat, should Secretary Hegseth, Admiral Bradley, or others be punished?
I think you're going to find that this is war, that these people were killing our people by the millions, actually, if you look over a few years. I think last year we lost close to 300,000 people were killed. That's not mentioning all the families. Have you seen what happens with the families of not only the people killed, the people that are trying to get their son or their daughter off of this poison that they've been fed? I think you're going to find that there's a very receptive ear to doing exactly what they're doing, taking out those boats. And very soon we're going to start doing it on land too, because we know every route, we know every house. We know where they manufacture this crap. We know where they put it all together. And I think you're going to see it very soon on land also. Yeah, please.
So to be clear, you support the decision to kill survivors after the
No, I support the decision to knock out the boats. And whoever's piloting those boats, most of them are gone. But whoever are piloting those boats, they're guilty of trying to kill people in our country. Yeah, please.
So I have a question, friends. I have a question. If you listen to all of that madness from Donald Trump saying that he's so concerned about these people piloting the boats and bringing drugs into the country and those drugs killing Americans, why did he just free the former Honduran president found guilty of trafficking 400 tons of cocaine to the United States? Cocaine that was sold to Americans, turned into crack and sold, and it killed people. Why did he free him? Well, turns out there is another theory behind that as well. So I'm going to show you a video from my friends over at Fubar Pack on TikTok. They try to make everything funny, and they do, but the accuracy with which they report is chef's kiss. I love them. If you're not following Fubar Pack on all platforms, please do. Here is the background on perhaps why he's willing to risk Americans' lives and free the man who sold and trafficked 400 tons of cocaine to the United States. Listen.
Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez. I just received a full pardon from President Trump despite trafficking 500 tons of snow cane into the United States. Hello, I'm the White House press corps. You also took millions in bribes from the cartels and gave them grenade launchers. Why are you being pardoned? Trump's buddy Roger Stone says that a pardon from me will help overthrow the Honduras' current liberal government. Conveniently, this would also protect Prospera, which is a private tech bro utopia in Honduras founded by billionaire allies of Trump. In Prospera, they make their own laws governing everything from crypto to unlicensed medical procedures. Why would you tell me that?
So I don't really know how else to put it to you, friends. Every single thing that these people do is to benefit the goddamn rich. Fuck you, MAGA. Fuck you for screaming that the white collar man has been forgotten, that the culture war needs, we need gasoline on the culture war. Fuck you, MAGA. You just elected a bunch of motherfuckers hell-bent on ruining this country and making it better for them. The poor will suffer. The elderly, the disabled, black and brown people, the LGBTQ, and you, motherfucker, and you. Yes, you podunk motherfucker down in the red states who think that just because they have a red tie and a red hat that you must vote for them. Fuck you, because you're stupid. You just destroyed this nation. You know what I want to say? I want to say this. You spent your entire life looking at third world nations, watching the war taking place in their country, watching freedoms be destroyed and dismantled, watching women get killed for not wearing a scarf over their head, watching women and men get kidnapped off the streets for standing up to a government that wants to kill them and die in the process. And you said to yourself, that could never happen here. You said this country is too great. We are too powerful. That could never happen here. Our 3-tiered government will protect us. That is until they steal the goddamn election, fucking pack the courts, and we're stuck here with nothing, with no power. We have no way to fight back against this except to rise up as the people in mass and with force. That's all we have. Fuck you, MAGA, for being stupid. For voting the way your mama and your papa told you because they voted that way and everybody else told me I should vote that way, and you never did a goddamn lick of actual research to see that the people you are voting for fucking hate you. They fucking hate you. So now you have the people you propped up hating you and the rest of the country hating you too for ruining everybody's goddamn lives. And that's what you have done. Every single thing that is happening in this country is a goddamn violation of constitutional rights. Every goddamn one. In fact, I'm actually writing a Substack post on this exact thing right now. Let's see. Threatening journalists for doing their jobs. This violates the First and the 14th Amendment. Protesters treated like enemies of the state and arrested for exercising their First Amendment right. They're violating their Fourth Amendment from protection against unreasonable search and seizures. And the 14th Amendment right, equal protection. If protests are selectively targeted. Political opponents are being targeted with state power. Holy shit. If you don't see that, my God, you're fucking crazy. That violates your First Amendment, your Fifth Amendment, and your 14th Amendment. Immigrants being kidnapped, detained, and disappeared into a system that no longer protects civil rights at all. Rolling back civil rights. That violates Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Sixth Amendment, Eighth Amendment, and the 14th Amendment. Openly violating our constitutional rights. How about agencies weaponized to punish critics? How about that? First Amendment, Fifth Amendment, 14th Amendment. All violations, blatant open violations, things that people should be going to jail for, but instead it's being celebrated. This fascist administration is proud of what they're doing. Screaming that they're Nazis, screaming that they're fascists will do nothing until you stand up in mass America and you put on the pressure. And we need to start with the Supreme Court. Do you understand when I tell you that everything that is happening right now in our government will be brought to court and it's going to land on the desk of more fascists, Christian nationalists, who are paid. You even heard it in the Jeffrey Epstein emails. They chose Kavanaugh because he's reliable. They knew how he would vote or rule or judge. They knew it. And that's what they knew about Kavanaugh, Coney Barrett, Gorsuch, Alito, Chief Justice John Roberts, and Clarence Thomas. Fuck them all. Our protests need to be directed at them on their goddamn doorsteps because they need to feel the pressure of the American people. Right now, they're sitting there ruling in favor of Christian nationalism with no kickback, no pushback, no nothing. While we scream on the steps of the White House and Congress that they're fascists, nothing happens because everything lands with them. They rule, we get fucked, there's no accountability. There needs 50-51, do you hear me? Indivisible, do you hear me? When the Women's March, do you hear me? The next protest that is as big as No Kings needs to be on the front porch of the goddamn Supreme Court. And if you can't make it and you happen to live in their towns, let's make sure that the towns they live in, that those towns make them feel the pressure. We can no longer scream at Congress who's doing nothing. We can no longer scream at the White House who thinks it's simply... It's funny to them. They laugh at it. They're fine with it. They don't give a shit. It is SCOTUS who needs to feel the pressure, America. It is SCOTUS. This administration, I should say this regime, they don't care about the people. They don't care about the immigrants that they kidnap. They don't care about the journalists they kick out. They don't care that Fox News is state-run media. They don't care. You know why? Money, 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 money. You put a rich, greedy fucking sleazeball in the White House and he is going to do rich, greedy, sleazy shit. Why are we paying taxes, America? Let me ask you that. Your taxes are getting sent to this government and they're using them to fund the same exact system that is kidnapping people off the streets. Those paychecks that ICE and DHS are getting are coming out of your pocket. They're canceling social safety nets. They're canceling USAID. They're taking aid from around the world. They're using your tax dollars to not put America first, but to put Argentina first, but to put Honduras first, to start a war without congressional approval, to pay ICE and DHS, to give Kristi Noem 2 jets so that Kash Patel can put the most elite FBI agents on his girlfriend as personal fucking security. That's where your tax dollars are going. To pull Social Security from those in need, to pull Medicaid from those in need. We've got to stop paying taxes, and I mean it. Write yourself as exempt, create an account if you have to, and put those tax dollars in another account. Do it smart. You can make yourself exempt as long as you can pay your taxes at the end of the year. But who knows what's going to happen at the end of the year? You might need that money. You might need that money to flee to another goddamn country. All right, friends, I think I've talked your ear off long enough, but shit's getting real in this country, and the news is a dumpster fire, so stay tuned to Activist Collective, where we talk really loud sometimes, and we say what needs to be said over here. Anyway, friends, I think I've said all that there is to say today. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us on Activist Collective. Please share our podcast with your friends if you like what we've got to say over here. And remember, at the end of this video, there will be my Cash App and Venmo. Anything you can donate helps to keep us up and running. It also shows appreciation for the work we do because we're not paid actors and we don't get paid by the DNC. So everyone have a great weekend. You know that I love you with my whole heart. We've created a great community here and I just love talking to you. So everybody have a great weekend.